Hi, I'm Charlie, this is Doc Vlog, and today we are talking about these. So this is the Aputure LightStorm Mini 20D light kit, or this is one of the lights from it. And the first thing that I should say right off the bat is I am using one of those lights to light this current shot, but I know that this current shot doesn't look particularly good. Don't judge the lights based on this. I have very limited time to do this video, so this does not look good, I know that, but we'll be showing you some test shots later of a real scene that I lit properly, and that will look a lot better. For those that don't know, this is a 3-light kit. It's fairly new. Aputure just came out with it quite recently, and so there's really not a lot of information or reviews out there on it, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get this done, even though I didn't have a lot of time to do this today. I just wanted to get it out there so people who are considering it could see and know a little bit more about this kit and whether or not it's a good decision. I believe you can get just the 3 lights and some of the sort of accessories for $719, or the 3-light kit with the stands included for $800. So not super cheap, but pretty affordable for a full lighting kit. So the question really is, can it work as your only full lighting kit? And not to give away everything that I'm going to say, but the short answer is yes. I think this is fantastic. I think it's great value for the money. So let's talk a little bit about what is actually included in the kit and how it looks. There are 2 Mini 20Ds, and then there's 1 Mini 20C. Ds stand for daylight, and they are the one color temperature. I think it's like 6,500 Kelvin off the top of, I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I only just got these recently myself. And then there is the Mini 20C, which has an adjustable color temperature from 3,200 Kelvin all the way up to 6,500 Kelvin. All of the lights, so the C and the 2Ds, have a adjustable dimmer, so you can turn the brightness way up or down, and they also have adjustable flood to spot dial on the back so that you can turn it all the way up to sort of a wider floodlight and a much narrower spotlight depending on what you need. They all come with built-in barn doors, and these are really pretty nice, very solid metal barn doors with felt on the inside like they should be. So they all come with that built in, which is really great. And as you can see, they're pretty small, which means that they're quite lightweight, and they fit into what is a pretty small kit. So let me grab this. So everything but the stands fits into this nice bag that Aputure will send to you when you order this kit. It's fairly heavy, so it'll fit all 3 lights in here, and then absolutely everything that you could possibly need to plug it in, power it, get it set up, except for the stands. Those are in a separate bag. So we've got a bunch of different types of cords for connecting, 3 batteries if you want to power via battery, as well as chargers for those, cords for those. There's also wall plugs, 3 wall plugs, and then cords and connectors for those. That's what I'm using for this light at the moment. It's just the wall plug rather than the battery. There are, let's see what else we got here. 3 of 2 different types of mounts so one for each light. So there are 3 of these, which are the sort of hot shoe mounts that this is the easiest way to screw them onto the stands that they come with. And then there's a ball head top there. And then there are 3 of these, which is sort of more like a pinch mount that you could really put this onto anything, and then you could mount the light up there. So a lot of options in terms of mounting. And then it also comes with some gels and a few binder clips to attach the gels or whatever to your barn doors. Right now I actually have a little bit of just a tiny piece of diffusion over my light, so I just use the clips that it came with for that. It doesn't come with diffusion, but you can get a giant sheet of diffusion for like 10 bucks. So that's not a huge issue, I don't think. And I believe that that's it. So really it comes with everything that you need, and amazingly, it really does pack down into this bag. It's a tight fit. It's a very tight fit. There's not a lot of empty space when you're done putting everything in here, but you will be able to put it back in here after you unpack it for the first time and use this, carry this around, and have all your lights in here. So then, of course, the other aspect of this kit, the bag with stands, which comes with this nice Aputure stand bag, and you get 3 stands like this. There's 3 different sort of zooming out, so you can get them up really kind of surprisingly high just with that. They are a little lightweight and fiddly, So if I was gonna make some complaints about this kit, one would be that these don't feel super solid. On the other hand, they're lightweight, and this is sort of meant to be kind of a travel kit where you just got this bag, you got the other bag, you toss it in your car, you can go, you've got lights anywhere. You don't even need a plug because they can all run off battery. So the trade-off is that these feel a little bit fiddly and not super solid, but they're also really quite light compared to heavier duty light stands. You get that same trade-off in some of the accessories as well. So for example, these little ball heads, two of the ones that I got are fine. One of them is just really a little loose and kind of fiddly, and I just don't, I don't trust it a lot. I'm a little nervous about it. It's actually the one that I'm using to hold the light up right now, so I trust it enough, I guess, because I haven't thrown it away. But that's something that I probably will replace sooner rather than later, just because it doesn't make sense to have something that's sort of this, just feels a little cheap and a little unreliable. Putting such expensive lights on top of that doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, so one of the main selling points of these lights and Aputure lights in general is that they have a really high CRI, which is like color accuracy basically. Now, you're not seeing that at all in this shot because the lights in this room, other than the Aputure light, are a different color. I didn't even remember to white balance before I started recording this, so this is gonna look like a color disaster. But let's take a look at some sample shots of some stuff that I shot with a proper lighting setup, and you'll see that you can actually get a much nicer look. Now, I should say I am not a lighting professional by any means, and in fact, this is really the first actual light kit that I've ever had. Previously, I've only been trying to light scenes with just like, oh, let's put this lamp over here, let's put this lamp over there. So I'm sure that a professional would look at this scene and be like, wow, there's a lot of issues with that. And there are even some that I can see, like for example, you could see there's that line sort of the glasses, the shadow reflected across my eyes. I didn't notice that until after I finished shooting. A little tough to shoot and light yourself sometimes. So that's something that I'm gonna work on, but I am really, really, really pleased with the quality of lighting that I was able to get out of these lights, just sort of right out of the box, not knowing a whole ton about lighting, not having a lot of experience using them. Really, really still super happy with how this came out. So I'm quite pleased with these lights and how they perform. So should you buy these lights? I guess that's really the main question, right? And the answer is really, of course, it's up to you. It depends what you need. I think that for the sub $1,000 range, this is probably the best option that's available. And the reason that I think that is because one, you get sort of everything that you need. So if you have nothing right out of the box, you can go with the version that comes with the stands. They're lightweight, but they're solid enough that they'll hold the lights. And then you've got absolutely everything that you need to be lighting right then. Maybe you want to buy some diffusion, maybe you want to buy a reflector, but that's like 20 bucks total, and then you're all set. So you don't have to add on a whole lot. You could definitely get a higher quality tungsten kit used off of eBay in that price range, and that would throw off a lot more light, but that would also suck up a whole ton more power because it's not LED lights, it would be tungsten lights. And I haven't had any issue with these lights not providing enough light. So for example, I mean, this light right now is, I think it's set at about 40% brightness and it's shining through diffusion. So let me just turn it up here. So yeah, if that's turned up to 100 and I pop the diffusion off, I can no longer see the camera because it's so bright. I'm sure that the shot is now ridiculously overexposed. So Jesus, I really need to turn that down. So as you can see, as long as you can get your lights fairly close to your talent, these are gonna provide plenty of light. Like I said, that was just one light and I'm not using any reflectors or anything like that. So if you set all three of them up, you turn them up to full brightness, and you've also got like reflectors and bounce boards, and you can really do all kinds of different things. And I think it's going to be enough light. If you're trying to light like a large film set with them, it may not be enough light to do that. I don't have any experience with that. I really have these lights primarily for interviews and for the occasional shot if I've got a little bit of time to stage it, but it's a documentary, so I don't often have time to stage shots. So, but for me, I think for lighting interviews, for lighting something sort of static like that, I think these will be great, especially if you can keep them relatively close to your talent. Long story short, I think these are great lights. I definitely recommend them, especially if you're doing any kind of static shooting a lot, and that's mostly what you need them for. So interviews for documentary, a vlog type setup like this, or if you've got like a studio for a show or something like that, kind of like in your house, I think they would be great for that. They're great to take on the road, so especially again for documentary, if you've got to kind of like bounce around to different places. Nice and compact. They come with a case, they'll fit in your car. You can run them off batteries if you don't have access to power wherever you're going, at least for a while, a couple hours, I believe at least. So they're really great, really portable, good quality light, LED light, so it's not sucking up power really quickly, and on a pretty reasonable budget compared with a lot of sort of high-end professional quality lights. So I strongly recommend these lights.